Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and check us out on Podbean. Make sure y'all comment, hit the little notification bell also. Hey, Barely Broke Podcast, baby.
I feel like I'm on the right.
Welcome, world. Welcome to the Barely Broke Podcast. You know what I'm saying? There, we all got the whole crew here. Is it a podcast or is it the Inside the Pod? How we take this
podcast?
We're gonna do the pod. All right. So, what's up?
No, I was gonna say we really got all our topics for a whole pod.
Inside the podcast?
All right, inside the pocket.
You're still inside talking about it.
All right, inside the pocket. Let's get it.
The
Your boy D.I.B. here.
here.
Here with you here with me. Shit, live and direct, live and full effect. Over there, we got Spider-Man. Fizz all day, swimming to save your hole, swimming to save your mom. You know what I'm saying? After you
I
save
ain't
your
saving
mom.
no hoes. What you mean?
Huh?
Ain't no hoes.
He said go save her.
Don't save her. Don't want to be saved. Down there, we got Susano OMG, also known as Screwface. You know what I'm saying? We got many monikers. He's here. Alright, so we're going to take this one on today, head first. Today, Spider-Man, let us know what the plan of action is. And let us know what we're doing.
Action. We getting into this nice and little piece of spicy mortal here with the whole Dave Chappelle issue once again. Y'all here with us, we here with y'all. You know what it is, man. So me, I'm with Dave Chappelle. I'll say this. I am with Dave Chappelle. What about you there, DIV? Who you with?
Still Dave. Well, yeah, I'm with it.
What about you there, Screwface Sosa OMG? Who you with?
You know me, yo. You know I stay on my fence. So I'm with Dave, but I'm with everybody else at the same time. So
You
But for today, I'm gonna chill on Dave's side of the fence today. I'm gonna chill on his side of the fence.
Okay.
I go touch down. My feet ain't touching down. I'm on the balcony. That's all.
Okay, so we all kind of are, well, kind of all like fans of Dave Chappelle. We all like Dave Chappelle. We all seen the Chappelle show. We seen Half Baked. We seen Ed Nutty Professor. We seen all this Dave Chappelle shit, stand up, all that. He came to Connecticut, got booed in Connecticut. You gotta know that. You know what I'm saying? I was in Connecticut, we got booed on stage.
But on that though, I did go to a comedy special where he did come out on stage as like a surprise guest to like address that whole being booed in Connecticut thing. So
Yeah.
he's all right. Connecticut's all right with him now. He all right.
Connecticut, we got some shit up there. But yeah, fucking Dave Chappelle. Yeah, I guess he did hear me. He wasn't that funny that night. But anyway, I'm not even gonna get too much on that. But we all
Okay, he's
familiar
funny
with
the
it.
night I went, so that's all that matters.
We're all familiar with him. We're all pretty much fans of him. And this new stand-up that came out, it is The Closer. Of all the stand-ups that recently came out, this is the last one he's gonna be doing for a while. This is the one he did for Netflix. Real quick, did we all like it? I liked it. Just say not no deep dive just yet. But do we all generally like it, or what's the consensus? Yeah. All right.
If I was gonna say complaint against it, I don't know.
Hold that for a second. Just hold that for a second before we get to the complaint. Wait, I know you're ready to go off with those complaints. I know we all. But all right, so we all liked it. We all fans of Dave Chappelle, and you guys are familiar with all the controversy that's going on around it, right? With how trans people say that he's coming at the trans community. Now the trans community is coming at Dave, trying to get him canceled. You guys are familiar with what was going on in Netflix with the trans person getting suspended or some shit, something like that. Like they
so the original rumor was they got fired. Turned out that it was a rumor. They were trying to pass it off as a fact. It was just a rumor, but got suspended, not fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
For about a day.
And also, it was a black woman. It's either a black woman or black trans. I don't know. But she's pregnant or some shit. I heard. I don't know. But either way, like we'll probably touch on that later. All right. So now that we cleared up all the extra stuff that's been going on around it, the controversy and everything, now we can take a deep dive. You guys all know where we stand with it. You know what I'm saying? Now we can take a deeper dive into what we thought about the stand-up. If it was funny or not. You know what I'm saying? Was he right? Was he wrong? You know what I'm saying? I start off. I feel like the people complaining about Dave with stand-up. First of all, I think the stand-up was funny, and It has its for some parts, but I feel like the backlash that he's getting from people is not warranted. Like I don't feel like he did anything or said anything that was out of the way. I feel like everything he said about trans people is the same level of like offensiveness that he would put like talking shit about black people, Asian people, this, that, just everybody pretty much. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? So
Screwface?
Well, since I just watched it today, it's very fresh in my mind. So, I mean, I've heard of the controversy, but I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't honestly know exactly what the trans community is even complaining about, to be honest with you. But
okay,
personally, I can see what they're saying, I guess. I mean, me personally, from start to finish, it had its lulls, but I could see where he was trying to go with it. So in a sense, I don't disagree with the special because I can see where he was going with it. But I can also still see why some folks was offended at the same time. I'm not going to be capped. But like I said, I mean, I still enjoyed it. He still had some parts in there I laughed at. Hell, there were some jokes I probably shouldn't have laughed at, but I still laughed at it because, like you said, it's jokes. So there ain't really no need to take it that offensively in a sense. But again, like I said, I can understand where folks is coming from because I mean, he did say some stuff that I could see where some people, like I said before, he said some stuff where I could see where some people might get their feathers ruffled or their jimmies ruffled or whatever it is. But it's like, you know,
what jokes do you think those were? What, you remember them? Do you
it
recall?
wasn't so much. I don't think it was a joke per se, but just what he said leading up to them, kind of thing. Just like the things that he says in and of itself. Because the joke and the punchline, I was completely cool with because I understood where he was coming from with them. But you know, leading up to it is just the things that he might say might ruffle some folks a little bit the wrong way. I mean, there was something in the trans joke that he did say that I could see where some folks would probably get like a little offended. But it's like I said, it's in the grand scheme of the joke, I can see why he said it.
So you're trying to say you're trying to say that we should differentiate the joke itself from how funny it is and the message of the joke, kind of like what the joke means and if the joke is funny or not, I guess, right?
Well, yes, and if I'm doing that,
yeah, is that what you're trying to like make the differentiate? Like okay, the joke is a good joke, but it has offensive parts to it. The message of the joke is pretty offensive or something like that.
Yes. But that's not to say I didn't laugh. Like I said, there was still some parts where I still laughed because that shit was funny to me. But I can also still see why somebody wouldn't find it so funny. But Dave himself said he's not in that community. But he is a comedian at the end of the day. And he was just essentially using that to make the punchline of the joke. And the punchline, I mean, I'm sure we might go deep, dive deeper into the joke itself. So I'm not going to really touch too much on it. But that was just my take on it.
Okay, so my take on it, he's a comedian. He can make the jokes. He made the jokes. He joked about not just the trans. Let's clarify this in that thing. It wasn't just trans alone. He also joked about gays. He also joked about black people. He also joked about women. He also joked about what did he open the whole series with? He opened it up with a joke about a fucking pastor, pedophilia and shit. He opened up with that shit.
That's one of the ones I shouldn't have laughed at, but I definitely laughed.
But nobody talks about that.
Not you guys care, but like people out there are offended about just that one part. That's the part. You're telling me that's the one part that got everybody upset. Well, he's over here talking about white people left and right. Y'all ain't offended by that? But that's okay for him to do that. So it's okay for him to make fun of everybody else besides trans. No matter what the jokes is saying, because he made some serious jokes about black people. He made some serious jokes about white people.
Beating up a lesbian chick.
There you go, lesbians. He even made jokes about women too. But fuck all that shit. It's just just the trans. And Dave ain't right for doing none of this. These are jokes. They are jokes. And he even said it himself. He doesn't hate none of them. He has no hate for nobody. He's like, his issue has always been with who? White people. That's what he said in the thing. So if anybody should truly be offended, is whites.
Yeah, but isn't it mostly the whites that brought this all about?
No, but again, the
How
topic
does he want you to
people
be?
are trying to cancel him off of is the trans joke. Even
Yeah,
though
the
with
trans.
the trans joke, it would talk about white people. Whether
I mean,
you're
I'm gonna be
trans,
honest with you. The whole. Oh well, no, I don't want to interrupt your thought. My bad.
but no, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say because I honestly I feel validated a bit because before we did this podcast, we've had like a kind of thing where we talked about the special beforehand, before I saw it at least. And my main thing about it was just that the only people that's up in arms is white folks about everything because they dominate that community. And it's kind of funny because when I watch that special, I'm just in the back of my mind, I'm like, this man ain't talking about the black folks that's in that community. He's talking about the white folks that's in the LGBTQ community.
Thank you. Talk
And
about
that's why, and yeah, so as I was watching, I was like, I feel a sense of validation because I had a feeling, because that's what I always really set up. That's why I rock with them, but I rock with the black folks in that community because to me, they black before anything else. So,
which he also called out
to
the
hear
black
them basically just,
communities too.
yeah, especially in that one that you told me about, with being in that one town and then the one transgender with the two black dudes. And I will say I do agree with that because it's just like I said before, you need to say something as well. Like that person shouldn't be up there saying all this shit, talking about how 10 years of this struggle trumps your centuries of struggles in this country. So that's where I will say, like, yeah, you, like, as a black person, especially in that community, you need to step up and say something to the white folks in that community because it's gonna fuck you up every single time.
We
Like
could
they
be honest
protected by
about it.
whiteness, huh?
We could be honest about it. Like you know that majority of trans people are white, right? Majority trans anything and everything. Majority of
Mhm.
them are what? White. Majority of
White,
trans
yeah.
ain't black. Majority of the trans is white. Like it's not even a black issue. So it's like the few that are black, I don't even know who these motherfuckers are, but like the community is most majority middle-aged white people, white men, middle-aged white men. So
Yeah. So honestly, not to cut you off, but as I was watching it, so like I said, I just watched it today, so it's still very fresh in my mind. But he goes through progressions in his jokes where he tells you a bit of history about pretty much every punchline that he's about to give you. And the one that kind of stuck out to me more than anything, I know everybody's like, on the whole trans thing, but the one that stuck out to me the most was his bit about feminism. And I felt like that one really shoehorned a lot of like what he was trying
Yeah.
to say about everything pretty much in his whole thing. Because it was basically, because like he said, he texted his friend who's like in the, I want to say she was either feminist or in the LGBTQ community. I can't remember 100%, but she's a black.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah, but she's a black woman. From what he's saying, yeah, he was just basically like, oh, so are you gonna go to the I believe it was a feminism rally or something, a parade or something like that? And she said something along the lines of, basically she didn't fuck with any of them white women over there. She said something way more hilarious, but it was something along those lines. Yeah, yeah. But it stands. It has a lot of truth in it, especially when he brought up the whole thing about Sojourner Truth, and when the feminists from back in those days told her like, no, even though you're a woman speaking up on these things, we don't want you to speak. We just want you to basically be here and be a face.
Yeah.
And it kind of is, and it's like, to me, I hope that's just not what white folks in the LGBTQ community is doing to the black folks in that community. Like, don't say none. We just need you to be a face for us.
Yeah. Honestly,
to
that's
like
how,
prove that.
To me, that's how it feels.
You know exactly that's what they're doing.
Right. I mean, like everybody honestly does it to us. Like Democrats do it to us, Republicans do it to us, and I'm not even gonna sit here and act like the LGBTQ community ain't gonna do it to them as well. So it's just like, to see the black folks on that side of the spectrum trying to be like, oh, cancel Dave, he ain't out here for us, this and third. I honestly, you got to ask yourself, yeah, black folks as a whole can be a little bit, not the nicest, I want to say, to the LGBTQ community. Yeah. But at the end of the day, the white folks in there ain't going to be that much better for you anyways. Because like I said, they could just be using you as a face to try and prove a point. Like, oh, Dave himself even said it in the stand. He was like, oh, how you ain't going to call out the racist LGBTQ members? And we're not gonna sit here and act like there ain't no racism in that community, because I mean I talk to a lot of people. I see a lot of things as well. And I've seen from other folks' you know, stories that there is racism in that community. So I think that was basically his big thesis, essentially, and just calling out the hypocrisy in that community
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Which honestly, I have absolutely no problem with. Like I mean, anybody can see that was the main thesis, but I guess some folks took it a little bit too far.
For me, it wasn't really the homophobic trans jokes or whatever people might think of him. It wasn't really those topics. It was more of when he was speaking on the fact that, hey, in America, you could get away with killing the black man and nothing with the whole DaBaby issue. That just that portion around there, not even, hey, you offend some people from the LGBTQ community and then your career canceled. It's just the fact that, hey, here it is in black and white. You could literally go fuck up some black people and your career is good. Just that has become a fact that has become a fact to me with my experience on this planet. Like, you could do anything you want to black people and it'll be okay. I'll be honest with you, that portion right there has become a fact to me. You could go destroy their areas through gentrification or through like actual aggressive tactics of moving them out, and you'll be good. There's always gonna be some law or some shit that they can use to justify their actions. A lot of black people could get killed, and they'll be able to some way justify it through saying, hey, I felt threatened, or he was very intimidating, or he looked aggressive to me. How does a 14-year-old black child look aggressive? I see him, I'm like, shit, man. Like, how does this child look aggressive to you?
Or you were kind of aggressive at 14, so.
Like honestly, with the whole Mike Brown case, I remember people were saying that he deserved to get shot because he stole from the store. I'm like, for stealing cigarillos? For stealing some Phillies?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if y'all kids ain't running into Claire's and Forever 21 stealing jeans and shit out of there, so then your kids over there deserve to get shot?
That's how I check.
How many times have we been to the mall and we seen little white children there with mall security because they stole something out of there? How come they're not getting shot and if anything, people, oh man, just leave them alone. They're just kids, man.
Give him a chance. He's a good kid. Man, I watched this dude twist the heads off of 4 birds. He's not no good kid. He's a piece of shit.
That's what I'm saying, man. And it even goes back to when that one dude sexually assaulted that girl. I think it was in
Brock
Vegas.
Turner?
Yeah.
Behind a damn dumpster in public.
Behind a dumpster.
And then what did the judge say? I don't want to mess up his future.
He didn't want 20 seconds of fun or something to ruin the rest of his life or some shit like that. That's what he said.
Yeah, but then when it came to Mike Brown, I'm hearing a lot of people saying, oh no, he deserved it. A lot of people outside the black community, let me clarify that. Outside the black community saying, hey, he deserved that.
Bro, look at Trayvon Martin. That nigga was walking home. Some fat, chubby, little short nigga jumped on him. And he was getting the best of him, and the told him to pull out a gun and shot him. Nigga, imagine walking home and some nigga is falling behind.
I heard people justifying that. Oh, he went and bought Arizona and Skittles to make he was trying to make triple C's, I think it was. I forgot exactly what drug, but it's some dumb shit that you'll Google on the internet to try and oh man, I'm trying to get high or some shit. And they was like, oh, that's what he went to go buy. So then that justifies fucking Zimmerman going over there and killing him. I'm like, what?
Like, I don't care what nobody say. There ain't no justification to killing Trayvon.
Like he comes over there, follows this kid, harasses him. The kid's like, yo, leave me the fuck alone. So then he defends himself, but then he pulls out the gun, shoots him, and then he gets that he's the one defending himself. Bro, you started this with him. You started this interaction.
With a
Got your
14-year-old kid, that nigga's a little kid.
got your ass beat, and then you pulled out a gun, shoot him. But then the law says you're justified because you was standing your ground. You was defending your actions. Get the fuck out here. That's why I'm saying.
You
that is
got the 911. The lady told him,
Oh,
hey, do not
do that. Yeah.
My bad. Go ahead.
Nah, I said what I had to say, man. That's the part that I agree with the most. Like it is literally a fact of America.
Yeah, like, and I go back to the baby thing, right? It's bro. And I'm not even trying to put the baby out there like that, but he's been putting his hands on niggas, or not even talking about the killing, but he's been physically hitting people and physically doing shit, and ain't nobody say shit. So that like they like pick and choose who like what they want to like what it is. And what they're picking and choosing is trans issues and all that shit to blow up. And the same thing with the same people that Dave Chappelle, the two black guys that was with the trans woman or whatever, he's like, y'all gonna let her talk this crazy shit? The thing is, they will, because just like how there's a Candace Owens for Republicans and all that shit, every community has a Candace Owens. Every community got a nigga that's gonna go buck for whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go crazy for whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised that the trans community has that. I'm not surprised by that. It's not new. It's the game. You have someone to be a buffer against the class that's lower than you, so they can't say nothing about you. As long as you include a couple of them, they can say whatever they want. Just like how motherfucking Democrats could, they feel like they're superior to everybody because they got so many niggas backing them, and the Democrats is this, Democrats is that. Because they feel like they're morally superior to everybody, so they can do whatever because they got the most.
Like, hey, look, we got a black Republican. He's here. Like, everybody's keep trying to use the black people as fucking
a prop. Straw man.
I mean, essentially pawns in everybody else's little thing. I mean, prop works, but I feel like we just pawns in everybody else's little game.
Do boys, whatever you want to, whatever. Nigga, they send us in first to get our heads cracked while they sit there and just give orders. Like, and it's sad that Chappelle can't even, as a comedian, and I'm not even sitting here trying to give comedians are special people or anything like that. Because to me, there's some shitty ass comedians that ain't worth the shit. But for like the people, and I'm just saying the people who are actually good in any field, we should cherish the good athletes that are real good. We should cherish the painters, the artists, the musicians, the politicians who are actually good, and cherish them. Chappelle isn't special because he's a comedian. Chappelle's special because he's just a special guy because he's different. You know what I'm saying? There's a shit ton of comedians, and them motherfuckers ain't special. But Chappelle's a special motherfucker.
It's one thing to make jokes when you actually hate people and you're doing these jokes to be offensive. It's another thing if you're doing it just to make people laugh and you're trying to send a message, like, and a positive message at that.
Yeah.
Which that's what I got from Chappelle with the closer. I'm not doing this to say I hate trans people. I'm not doing this because I disagree with your lifestyle. I'm doing this because I don't understand. I don't know. I have questions.
Mm-hmm.
Certain things I want to know more about. I am a comedian, and I'm gonna make these jokes about you. Because the same way I made the jokes about the Asians, the whites, the blacks, the lesbians, the feminists, the fucking Africans the black Americans who think they're all super Africa man and all this extra shit. I'm going to make jokes about y'all. I'm not going to exclude y'all from it. Y'all could get these jokes too. And for them to go off about that shit, that was totally unwarranted, man. What makes them so special that you can't make jokes about them?
Because they say they're special. That's pretty much what they're saying.
I honestly want to know, why can't nobody make jokes about them? But then we have white comedians. Who is it? Bill Burr, I think his name is. He makes black jokes, and them shits are hilarious.
Hilarious. I remember he was talking about that joke when he was on the train, when a black dude got stuck in the door of the train. He's like, man, fuck all you cracker ass crackers up in this motherfucker. Or just cussing out. And Bill Burr said, I was sitting there on the train. I'm like, and there was like three other white guys. I look at them like, I hear this guy. Like he's really coming from. You know why he's gonna do anything? And they just like put their heads down and look away. And I'm like, motherfuckers, like you motherfuckers. And, like, and I look over to the black dude, he's still calling us crackers. Y'all fuck y'all crack ass crackers. And I'm just like, damn. So you know what I did? I put my head down. Whatever the joke was. The shit was just hilarious, bro.
But like I said, they have white comedians who can make black jokes, and this shit is funny as hell. Nobody's get offended by it because we know, hey, he's not coming from a place of hate. He's actually making, he's just making jokes, and that shit's funny as fuck.
Bill Burr's great, man.
Funny as fuck.
I just want to put that out there. Like I don't think
I feel like it depends on the. Yeah, I got a problem with Bill Burr. He's still one of the funniest things ever when he talking about freaking
because
the black folks.
He's white, but you don't have a problem with it. Why? Because you know he is not racist like that.
Got black wife too.
Folks ain't from hate. You know this.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, because we don't know it unless we hear it, I guess. But like Bill Burr gets a pass with me because he ain't never really said nothing that's that offensive. Like his jokes are just jokes. Or he like pokes fun at the offensiveness when it comes to black folks and his jokes. It's usually to punch holes in like white folks' perceptions of black folks. Like one of his punchlines, his jokes that I heard was about like athletes and whatnot, and how like sometimes sports commentators will say some shit that's like borderline racist, and then you just like kind of like back off. And that's probably one of my favorite jokes is to this day. But like I said, I think it all just depends on who's saying it. Because Louis C.K. had the one joke about saying the N-word in his bit.
Yeah.
And actually does say the N-word in his bit, but because of where he came from and his, build up to it, it's not really that offensive to you. Because you understand like why he's come. Like, I don't know if y'all seen that one.
No, I've seen it. Yeah, Bill, he's in the same class. Because he's a good comedian. It's not just about saying shit to piss people off. He said the same way how he left to nigga. And it's not like he's just calling niggas, calling this dude a nigger and all this. He is a whole joke. The whole point of the joke wasn't to shock you by saying the word nigger. It's it's a point to the
because
joke.
It's like, yeah, because he was like, oh, what's the most offensive thing you can say is N-word. Because when you say the N-word, now I'm saying the N-word in my head, and now we both saying the N-word, essentially. So that was like his whole thesis of the joke. So by the time he actually does say it, it's not so bad because you know what he was building up to. You knew it was getting to that point of it. So that's why I just say it depends. But I mean, there can also be like in there. He says like Dave said something in the stand-up where he was like, sometimes some people will punch down, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's some other comedians who do punch down.
Oh, absolutely.
Like they have their jokes that's not set up to say nothing. It's just they just gonna spout off racist jokes and spout off racist jokes.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When the comedian's jokes are more racist, yo, this is not an actual joke. This is more of you saying the shit to offend somebody.
Right, exactly. And I think that maybe that's where all this is getting lost in the sauce, I guess, when it comes to Dave. Because I want to say in my heart of hearts, he ain't trying to punch down. Like from start to finish, he had like a purpose, and he had like each one of his punchlines had a purpose, from what I can see. So he wasn't trying to punch down on nobody. Maybe in the last one, in the trans one, you kind of like you wonder what the punchline is, but you could kind of see what the punchline is at the same time. So I mean, it could just go back to what y'all are saying, like they're getting offended for whatever reason because you feel like they can't make jokes about them. Maybe that runs into the whole, because sometimes I do believe you shouldn't really be making fun of folks if you ain't in that thing because they don't know you. It goes back to our whole discussion about should a white kid from the hood have a pass to say the N-word or whatnot. Like we don't like if he go like in his hood, yeah, he has that. He grew up in that. He's in that culture of that hood. But if he goes to a different one and he says that, they don't know him. They may think he's being racist, but in reality, he's actually comes in peace. He comes with no harm. So that's why to me, like that maybe that's why they're getting offended, and they're just like, yo, you ain't one of us, but this, that, and the third. But at the same time, I say that to say this, you gotta actually watch it before you become offended. Because I feel like some folks who are offended didn't really even watch it. So now I understand why I see what everybody's saying. Oh, did you watch the special before you got offended, this and the third? Because I didn't watch it for a long time. So I was just sitting back watching everybody just go at each other's head for whatever reason. But after actually finally watching it, yeah, I can't get down with. I mean, I'm not in that community, so I can't say shit. But I'm just from my perspective, I don't understand the backlash. Maybe somebody who is in that community can be a little bit more forthright and just say like exactly what is the backlash about? Like what did he say really that was that offensive?
There's people
Like was it?
So I did some research and trying to find something on this. And with the research that I did, the only thing I found from, again, literally just on YouTube alone, it's not like I was doing a whole Google search and like calling people up left to right. From the YouTubers that I did find that are from that community, majority of them said the jokes were just jokes, that they found it funny. They said like a lot of people in the trans community who are trying to cancel him probably never even watched the stand-up and are just trying to like get a rise out of something. Yeah. For the few others that I did find who didn't fully agree with him, they started dissecting his videos left and right and be like, hey, this part right here. And I mean, I watched this video, it's like damn near an hour long, dissected every single joke, segment, line that he said. This is how detailed they went into it, which I feel like Dave didn't go that detailed in it. What's it called? One point was like with the turf. He said, yeah, I'm turf. Right? But then the person that didn't do, like, for him to say turf, that he's turf and he supports it means that he's supporting this group, which has members who said that not only is not just them saying that trans women aren't real women, it's also saying that how they got disfigured genitalia and all this other shit and XYZ and make a whole bunch of hateful comment, which I don't think Dave went that deep into it when he was saying, hey, I'm turf. He's going up more of the belief that, hey, you do have specific genders. I feel like that's exactly where Dave was standing when he said, I'm turf. When he was making,
I mean, when he said I'm turf, it was more or less along the lines of the trans member. I want to say somebody from the trans community that called J.K. Rowling a turf. So that's why he said like I'm a turf, because when she said something about what,
because like
gender being something
up to that joke, he was like every single person on this planet had to pass through the legs of a woman. So that's defining trait, saying that there are.
That's the only part I disagree with. But that was me being facetious. I was like, some women have C-sections, but yes, that was me being. Yeah, that was me.
I thought of that too. I actually thought of that.
Okay, all right. So, the person that you're talking about, that's them grasping at straws, bro. You're telling me you're gonna go and you look at what turf is and who the people are with turf and the people that claim that they're turf, and then you're gonna go and find probably the most lowest scum of that community that calls themselves turf, that would go up and say that, and make fun of trans people who got disfigured genitalia and shit. So now, like, look at what all the elements that person did. You already told me that they're dissecting shit to the point of atoms and molecules. So we can dissect that motherfucker too and what they're looking at. So you are gonna sit here and pick out the worst motherfuckers of turf and then go after a fucking social media post on some bullshit like Twitter, where it's basically brain garbage. Whatever dumb shit pops in your head, you put it on Twitter. So that the reputation and validity of Twitter is already in question. So you're drawing from some shit that's bullshit already. On top of that, you're drawing from the lowest motherfuckers a part of turf. Which why didn't you go and check the tweets of like the person the representative of turf, the person they put to be in charge of it? Check, they're saying that, then maybe you might have an argument. But you're just bringing up random motherfuckers. Like, who are these random people? I don't know who they are. I could go on the internet and find anybody talking shit about disfigured genitalia on trans people and say that, look, that's a turf person saying that. Like, who the fuck are you? And like, you're dissecting jokes the same way how you're dissecting this man's jokes and all that shit. I could do the same shit to you. Like, there's no end to this shit. And he's making a joke. He's making a joke. These jokes are, he didn't say that part of the joke for you to get caught up with the joke. You know what I'm saying? He's saying the joke is that, like, you can include me jokingly as being a feminist that believes in, natural women or whatever. You can put me in that box facetiously. He's saying it as a joke. Jokes they're not meant for you to dive into them that deep. They're meant for you to think on what the message is in it. Think about the message a little bit, and that's it. You're not trying to break down, a Jew, a black, and an Asian walk into a bar. And then what are you going to say? Jews don't drink or some shit. and black people don't usually have bars on the side of the street. They usually go drink at bodegas, and the bar, they're like, saying, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
I'm surprised he didn't get canceled for that Space Jew joke.
and again, he's basically attacking some of the most powerful people in entertainment.
But that didn't come up in the whole argument of why he should be canceled.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, damn, this nigga made a Jew joke? Oh, shit.
That wasn't what he should be canceled for. You know what? This goes back to, was it Jay-Z?
I mean, he said that shit. He said that shit twice, too.
Y'all remember Jay-Z's song, Story of OJ?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, do y'all know why they wanted that song, that music video taken down, the song stopped and canceled?
Oh, yeah, because of what he said about the Jews.
Because of what he says Jews.
Yeah.
Not to mention the whole video is done in character.
Blackface?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, character, blackface character, yeah.
That one portion right there is what's truly offensive.
You know what's wild? He didn't really say anything that bad neither. But like I've heard people say a lot worse shit about Jewish people. He didn't really say nothing that bad about Jewish people.
But that's what I'm saying. People are picking and choosing when there's like so many other things in there.
Nick Cannon is a perfect example. God, they tore that nigga up. Nick Cannon got tore for saying whatever he said about Jewish people and about how he supports like what was it Elijah Muhammad, or was it Farrakhan, or was he? Oh no, he said that black people are real Jews. Like that's all he said. He was talking to Doctor. He was talking to Doctor something. Doctor
Boyd.
But that guy he was talking to, I forgot his name too. He's been known for having like really extremist. Extremist thing. So.
Oh, then that's probably why he called flag.
That's more of why he caught flag.
I'm about to say there is black Jewish folks. I don't know why they gonna get.
That niggas is crazy. Black Israelites will be down in the streets. Like I walk past them. Them niggas be really out there like talking some shit. They be out there yelling for real. Like black Israelites. Like, oh, Jack motherfucker over there ain't shit. Or that white man, you know who the fuck he is? He ain't the real sons of gods. Black and all that shit, black people like them dudes is really.
You know that remind me. I remember when I was living in New York, we go downtown and shit. They had them motherfuckers at like the soapbox. Motherfuckers literally in their soapbox doing all this shit, like the white devil. Look at you over there. Hey brother, why you with that white woman over there? You need
with their bean pies and bow ties.
Bean pies and bow ties, baby. Let's go.
What is it?
Hey, just so y'all know, that was gonna be a name for the.
What are they called? The people that call themselves God and all that shit, like they're gods.
5%ers?
Is it 5%ers or 1%ers?
Yeah.
5%ers?
No, 1%ers is biker gangs. Yeah, so 5%ers.
Yeah. 5%ers, yeah. That's all the people that be doing all that stuff. And you have the passive around all that.
Dang.
We say dang ain't nothing. Yeah. Damn. The special, I just did it again. The special, to me, hey, it's probably the best way for him. It wasn't like the funniest one, but I think that's a good way for him to go out and at least go out for right now. That's a good way to go out on his own. What is it? 3 or 4 specials came on Netflix. I can't remember, but that's a good way to go out. You know what I'm saying?
That was definitely an interesting way to go out. Definitely a lot of controversy too. I mean, again, with that shit.
So, I got a question for y'all though, before y'all go into this closing argument shit. Now, you both own your own business, right? You guys own the business together,
okay?
Right? Mm-hmm. Now, you guys are having a meeting with all your regional managers, right? You guys are like expanding all over the place. You talk about products and stuff that y'all gonna be selling and shit. And then 3 of your employees walk into your board meeting, telling you that y'all ain't shit. Y'all need to take down some of these products because they ain't working for whichever people, and that the product sucks. All right, y'all don't like it. Y'all don't like the brand of it.
Selling though?
Huh? The product selling. The product selling. But they come in there cussing and doing all this stuff. What's gonna happen to those employees? Now, this is y'all 2 owning the business. This is your business. What y'all doing?
Well, first of all, there's gonna be a boxing ring in my place of business. So if you ever come into my office doing that fuck shit, come see me in the ring, because that's how we're gonna settle this dispute.
Okay.
But no, I mean, listen, I like to think of myself as a man of reason. If you want to barge into my shit, talking all that shit, all right, cool, come in here. What you got? Because I swear to God, if you don't tell me something that's good, your ass out the door. So you better tell me something. You better if you coming in my office talking that cash money shit. All right, cool. All right, where's the
Remember, it's not
presentation?
just you two. It's not just you two. You got your regional managers there too with you.
Okay. So
Well, I'll still be like, hey, okay, come in here. What we on right now? Because it's like you're barging into my meeting, telling me my products ain't shit, even though they're moving. You know, we making money off of it. And now you mad at me because it's not for somebody else. All right, cool. All right, we all inclusive, whatever. This, that, and the third. What's your what's what I'm looking for?
pitch.
The alternative.
Oh,
Now, what's the alternative? Because I mean,
So
if you
the only
coming in here without a
alternative
plan,
is taking it down. Just getting rid of the product altogether. They ain't saying replace it with this that's gonna sell as good. Just get rid of it.
I'm like, you can quit because I ain't about to pay you no unemployment, so you ain't getting fired. So you can quit, but I ain't changing shit.
Nah. See, you say you're a man of reason. I'm a man of reason too. And my reasoning stops when you ain't being reasonable. If you breaking down my door without scheduling some event like you ain't got no goddamn sense, the world ain't burning. Ain't nobody got shot in the streets. You talking about a goddamn product that you don't fucking agree with. Schedule an appointment so we can talk to you. If you think I'm gonna receive you well by you kicking in my door and in front of my bosses, I'm the boss or regional. All right, so I run this business.
It's your business.
Yeah, CEOs, and then I'm your boss, and then my boss is here. So you kicking in my door, screaming in my face, you already out of here because I'm not here to have no discussion with whatever you're talking about. We could have this discussion in another room somewhere else, not here when I'm trying to get another part of this whole building, this whole job that stays up here running. These motherfuckers are the reason why it's up and running. I'm the reason why it's up and running. So if I can't make sure these motherfuckers believe in what I'm running here and keep this business running, you ain't gonna have a fucking job. I ain't gonna have a fucking job. So what I'm gonna do, I'm cutting this shit off at you. You know what I'm saying? You taking all the blame, all the everything. You getting the fuck out of here. I'm not listening to you. And maybe after, you know what I'm saying, I send HR down there to hear your story. And, you know, you already getting punished. But I sent HR down there to talk to you. And you ain't talking to me. You already ruined your chance to talk to me. You could have talked to me, but we ain't talking. So I'm sending HR down there. You tell me the story. And then when I have time later on, I'll bring the HR person up and tell me what happened. And you still getting suspended. You still getting punished. You still get the brunt of everything because of that embarrassment you just brought into my business, into this whole place. We trying to run this place. Like, nigga, I'm signing your checks and making sure you getting paid, that you can afford your dick surgery and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? Either way, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, that shit is there. You know what I'm saying? I have this place up and running for you to be able to do all that other shit. So don't come into my place of business acting crazy. You're gonna schedule the appointment. We're gonna have a grown-up talk, but you don't want to act like a grown-up. You want to act like motherfucking like this is like fucking what 1941 Italy or some shit, and I'm stalling or some crazy shit or whatever. You act like I'm oppressing you. No, motherfucker. Go to HR or go to my assistant, somebody, and schedule a meeting with me. Don't do this shit and don't do it when all this other shit is going on with me. So fuck out of here.
Yeah, them niggas better hope I'm in the meeting and not DIV because he about to shut that shit down real quick. I was like, damn, they did what with who was in there? Shit, they should have waited till yesterday. They should have waited till today because I'm being in the meeting today.
I can talk to Screwface. I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, damn. Y'all done fucked up your chances because now I ain't gonna want to talk. He the boss too, so shit.
Hey, so
I can't help y'all no more.
So basically, y'all already know what happened with Netflix and that whole thing. So the original story was that those people got fired, right?
Mm-hmm.
After I did some research today, it turns out they didn't get fired. What happened was they got suspended, and it was I believe it wasn't even for like a full day neither. Not even like a full 24. They got suspended, and then they got reinstated and back to work. But then
said, go to your corner and think about what you just did right here. You just embarrassed me in front of everybody. Go to your fucking corner right now. Julianne, go to your fucking corner right now.
You know what? You did good. You've been over there quiet. So you know what? Come back. You come back. So they're back at work. And since that incident happened, a whole bunch of rumors been flying around about what happened with it. And also, I don't know how this narrative came about, but apparently now Dave Chappelle has white privilege because his show didn't get taken down. It's still up on Netflix.
Who's saying this?
Yeah, I gotta say, who's saying if it's white folks, I don't care.
From where it's coming from is the LGBT community, from what I've seen.
Who in the LGBTQ community is going to tell a black man he got white privilege just because you aren't, just because we're not listening to you? That's I just lost this whole battle of hearts and minds. They lost it. Dave Chappelle won it. They lost it, and now they're being sore losers. Who has the hearts and minds? People, not damn trans people. Dave Chappelle does. The fuck out of here. Did we just watch a video of some lady that was inside of a fucking spa? You know what I'm saying? Some black chick and a whole bunch of other chicks. They let some trans woman into the spa, and the nigga was just out there waggling his dick around inside the locker room full of young girls and women and shit. They ain't trying to see that shit. And then they go up and try to get her. Did you remember that video? Do you remember? You guys seen that shit? Yeah. Like, come on now.
By the way, that same person has also gotten in trouble before for shit like that, for inappropriate exposure to minors.
Yo, tell those women who went through that shit. Explain to them your social justice thing. Tell those women who went through that whole shit in that locker room. Tell them, I want to see you muster enough balls and all that shit and whatever you got, vagina balls, whatever, to go tell those women about what they went through with that motherfucker, that trans woman. Tell them, explain how they're being oppressive to him. Explain how because they don't have an open mind, they should change their outlook. No, fuck that. Nobody's going in, nobody's letting no grown man next to my daughter. You know what I'm saying? It's just not happening. It's just not happening. You're not going to the same locker room as my daughter.
I mean, I gotta ask, who I don't even know who called him. Who said he had white privilege? Because
I don't know who specifically,
I
but
want to say
it's a rumor that's been coming up from it's something that's being said by the LGBTQ.
Remember what I said? Majority of trans men are middle-aged white guys. Remember what I said about that? Majority of trans.
Yeah, that's why I ain't gonna put that much emphasis on it
now because of his white privilege.
Wait, okay, hold up. All right, what?
Dave Chappelle has white privilege, damn it. Chappelle has white privilege.
They can't get him on that. They can't get him there. They're trying to get him here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we can't get him, just like they couldn't get OJ for murder, but we get him in civil court.
OJ had white privilege, damn it. R. Kelly had white privilege for all them years, damn it.
Man, listen, that's some racist. Oh, the shell was choked. Yeah, that's a horrible example.
It doesn't even it can't fit. I can't fit. Sorry.
I'll take that one back.
Oh shit! But I just take that as being the racist white folks of that community I was talking about earlier, saying that dumb shit. Because that's literally the only time I've ever heard somebody say black people have white privilege is when it's the racist white folks.
Bro, this is the only time I've heard it from, and I've never.
I've seen white people try to say black folks got white privilege. This ain't the first time I've seen it. I've seen that shit before, and it's usually for some of the most mundane shit that black people get away with. I mean, there was one incident that happened a while back.
Look at him. He could go on the dance floor and dance, and nobody says anything fucked up about it. He could just go out there and dance as much as he wants. But if I go out there and dance, as a whole bunch of black people got
something. They don't call it white privilege. They call it black privilege. That's what I've heard that for sure. That if when a black person gets away with something,
I know what is black privilege, getting pulled over by the cops every Friday night.
Yeah. Bro, you ever realize that for everything, every phrase, every idea that kind of promotes black people and shows the ugly head of fucking white supremacy, there's always a counter argument or a counter phrase, something like
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, all lives matter. White privilege, not as black privilege. And now Dave Chappelle's calling out the bullshit that be going on with these motherfuckers. Now he got black. What is this? Or he has white privilege. What is this? Like, I don't get it, bro. Everybody's looking for it's so petty. We live in such a petty ass world. Fuck. Damn.
I mean, that shit is petty because I mean, the shit don't make sense. I mean, just to deviate for a second on what you just said about the whole thing. I mean, like you just said, the Black Lives Matter. Then you got Blue Lives / All Lives Matter, and even in that sense, that should never made any sense because motherfuckers just said Black Lives Matter. That was it. 3 words. That was it. But motherfuckers took that shit
even
as
with that statement, it's not like your life don't matter, white man. Your life don't matter, Asian man. Hey, cops, your lives don't matter. Nobody ever said any of that shit. Literally,
Nope.
hey, black people are being killed a lot. Just say I know Black Lives Matter. Oh shit, y'all always got something.
like
Guess
so
what?
only Black Lives Matter now, huh?
Listen,
Only
if all
Black
lives
Lives.
matter, how come? Why am I even having to say this? And why is it so offensive to you?
Intellectual dishonest motherfuckers just want to like, oh well, they're trying to take the air out of the balloon that is like Black Lives Matter.
Better yet, hey, slavery was so long ago. We are so past segregation. Get over it. Get over it already. It's done.
You know, Martin Luther King said that we all got to be friends with this peace. It's peace. You know, Martin Luther King said that we should all be together and be friends and be nice to each other.
Okay, so then let's be peaceful.
Martin Luther King said that we should be friends.
You don't like Martin Luther King? Come on, bro. He's a black guy. He's like black people.
But he's black.
Martin Luther King, bro. So yeah, you're get in the police car. You know, I find the drugs on you. Oh shit.
Sprinkle a little bit of crack on you.
Sprinkle crack on me.
I mean, again, to deviate, I ain't go, yo, listen, anybody who invokes the name of, let me correct myself. Any white person who invokes the name of Martin Luther King to say some goofy ass shit like that has never listened to or read a Martin Luther King speech outside of I Have a Dream. I promise you that. Because if they read a letter from Birmingham jail, they would shoot themselves. So my nigga he was not holding back on when it came to his white contemporaries. He literally told them niggas like, yo, y'all ain't really doing enough for the white. Well, he's talking to the white preachers and pastors who are telling him that he needs to calm it down, tone it down. You know, he needs to change up. I mean, what I'm about to tell you might sound a little familiar, but his white contemporaries, preachers and whatnot, were telling Martin Luther King Jr., yes, the same one, that he needs to calm down. He needs to tone down all the rallies, you know, all the protests. And then maybe things, just a smidge, just tone it down. Like you on a 10, I'm gonna need you to bring it down to a -5. Just tone it down.
Actually, you gotta tell black people to keep saying that. Not us, it's really y'all,
That's exactly what they. I don't know if that sounds familiar. That sounded pretty familiar to me in today's day and age. I don't know about y'all, but so he ended up writing the letter. I forgot who it was. It was addressed to a white pastor, a preacher that he knew. And he was basically calling him out on his shit and basically telling him like, yeah, that's like what you're telling me is cool and all, but I'm paraphrasing obviously. But nah, you know, it's just like y'all can do a little bit better in helping us out here. And you know, I'm out here trying to help my people advance themselves type shit. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, whenever I hear some white folks invoking the name of Martin Luther King, I side-eye that shit, or I ask them like, have you listened to or read anything outside of I Have a Dream?
Wait, he has another speech besides I Have a Dream? He has other speeches?
I know. Listen, it's hard to. I know. I didn't think so neither. But yes, he has quite a few.
Oh shit, man! I didn't know, man. I thought he just did it one speech. You know?
In school, it was just like he was born in like where Alabama, right? Or he was born there.
He's from Atlanta.
Huh?
He's from Atlanta.
Oh, okay. So
he was born
in Georgia, wherever he was born. He was born somewhere in the dirty South. You know what I'm saying? Born in the South, had a dream, and got shot in a hotel. That's all I learned in school about Martin Luther King. Yeah. That's all I heard. And niggas just grazed over Malcolm X. They was like, oh yeah, that guy's Malcolm X. All right, now Martin Luther King, back to I Had a Dream.
Nigga glazed. I don't think I ever remember hearing about him.
Was Martin Luther King preacher piece? Malcolm X wanted peace, but he's going about it the wrong way.
You even hear that? I heard Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream, peanuts, peanut butter, peanut oil, peanut this, peanut that, peanut this, Carver, he found a million ways to make peanut butter. Like he's peanut. Yo, I heard more about this motherfucker in peanuts than I heard about Malcolm X.
Yo,
Nigga,
fuck
I
that
heard
nigga.
about
George
fucking
Washington Carver
peanuts.
did.
This nigga made peanut oil.
He created peanut butter.
Peanut
Hey,
butter.
man, fuck George
Yo.
Washington Carver, yo, just because I'm allergic to
I'm gonna
peanuts.
be honest with you. I
Nah,
did
he's
not
great.
learn about Gareth Morgan until like years later.
Who?
Years.
I don't even know who that is.
Gareth Morgan. He created this. He the stoplight that we all use today.
Oh yeah,
He
I heard that. Yeah, I
created
did.
one.
Oh, okay,
He also
yeah, I
created
remember.
a
I
whole
heard that
bunch
was.
of
I
other
didn't know his name.
inventions. This man was a fucking genius, inventor.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
a lot of his inventions got stolen. He's not even getting paid for them. His family's not getting royalties for those.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a black woman whose family ain't getting royalties. You know the story of, I think her first name's Henrietta. I forgot her last name. But it was it was a black woman who went to the hospital, I want to say it was, for something. They found out that her cells could be used to create like other like remedies and things like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But they never
Still got a
paid
piece
her
of her.
family royalties. Huh?
You still got a piece of her right now. You still got a piece of
Yeah,
her.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And they've been using it over like all these years just to create different like medicines and things like that, making money off that shit, but
Mhm.
not paying her family a dime. And so again, same situation. Then you don't really credit black folks for shit.
You know, it goes against the
Most of the time. I
narrative.
mean, nowadays they starting to. Yeah.
It goes against the white supremacist narrative that low key America has. Ain't nobody trying to say that motherfuckers run around now is like on that same type of time, which a lot of motherfuckers are. But a lot of America was built off, oh, we are superior and all this other shit. And anything that would show that a black person bested a white person in it, it goes against the white supremacist narrative that this country is built on. I.e., Jack Johnson knocking out that motherfucker. Jack Johnson knocked out, what's his name? It doesn't matter. He didn't knock out that first Great White Hope. He didn't even knocking out Great White Hopes.
Yeah, it was the first Great White Hope. Yeah.
Yeah. And he knocked that nigga square out that motherfucking ring, and they had to stop the cameras because, oh shit, we can't show this black gorilla monkey motherfucker beating up this beautiful white man. We can't show it. They stopped it. That's the insecurity of these motherfuckers, man. Like, especially back then.
I ain't gonna lie, when I first heard about Jack Johnson, I was like, yo, how did they not kill this nigga? Yo? He was knocking out white folks.
Beautiful.
I'm surprised he left that ring alive, yo.
That he didn't give a fuck. That's why, because they're afraid of that the motherfuckers are afraid of a nigga that don't give a fuck. A nigga that got something to lose tempers himself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A nigga that doesn't give a fuck. The only people that he's worried about is black people. And you know what I'm saying? Like you said, he's not gonna fight no black person because he know that he'll get wild. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was black dudes that like, I'll beat the shit out of Jack Johnson. He's like, no, you won't, nigga, because I'm not like like, but you know what I'm saying? He was out here. He let these white dudes know, nigga, I'm one nigga. Imagine if all these niggas came out here. Imagine if all these niggas flooded this sport. They massacre you niggas. But I'm one nigga and I'm the blackest of these niggas out here. And I'm out here to like just make y'all look stupid and upset you motherfuckers. And he did it. But I'm not, this ain't a Jack Johnson episode. You know what I'm saying? The new Jack Johnson, we gotta do Jack Johnson.
Yeah.
But yeah.
New Jack Johnson.
New Jack Johnson.
New Jack and Jack Johnson fused together.
Yeah.
Oh, he single-handedly said.
Yeah. Imagine those two did a fucking fusion dance, yo, or the portrait, or the earrings and shit.
Yo, there's too much blackness in one person.
Yeah. A black hole.
Black Air Force energy will not be able to sustain.
Yeah.
Yo.
That's Black Air Force energy personified. That is.
Ultimate black man. Or the craziest black net, like the craziest nigga ever spawned. Well, yeah.
That'd be the craziest black man ever.
New Jack
We did deviate a bit.
He did create an anime for that, but whatever. You're right. We are.
We did deviate from the original topic, but all right, back to the special.
Yeah, well, let's clean this up. Let's finish this out. Any last remarks, gripes, complaints? I know we didn't like, and we're so beside You know, besides the whole controversy that we spent so much time on, you guys want to give your complaints or we said was good, but put good what's good, what's bad, complaints, and your final rating of the stand up.
For me, I think it was very artistically done, but I went into it expecting more of the comedic type of Dave Chappelle. That's what I expected going into this. Although I appreciate the message, my initial going into it, I was honestly hoping for more jokes, more humor, and all that shit. The message was amazing, well deserved, well timed, and everything. But I'm not gonna lie, man. I really just wanted the jokes and shit. I feel like he did spend a little too much time doing the whole sending his message out with a trans thing, but again, like that don't really like it's not really that bad. So I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I will give this a strong 8. A very strong. Fuck it, I'm giving it a 9. Let me not give it a strong 8.
All right, 9's kind of high.
Pretty good. That's pretty good score.
Yeah.
That good?
Yeah, that's really good score. Oh yeah, I'm about to say like
okay, so one of the things, even though I know I said he spent a lot of time on it and addressing it, because again, for him, he felt like he needed to address those. For me, the consumer, I felt like I just wanted to laugh. But again, I can't ignore his message and give it the 8. So that's why I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna give it a 10. But there's still the part of me that wanted all the funny laughs and jokes and shit. But one of the main things I did like about it was the very end segment, the thing where he told a story about Daphne. I felt like that was truly from him, and that was a good experience for him to share. Not really to get consolement from the LGBT community or get their approval of shit, because it damn sure wasn't for their approval. If anything, Dave Chappelle, in all honesty, after going through something like that, Dave Chappelle should really, I feel like he has true gripes to hold against them, and maybe he should be pissed at them, but he's not. Dave Chappelle is literally being the bigger man while being a comedian by not holding this against them. He's not creating anger and hate towards them. He's not. So I know there's a bunch of petty people out there who, if they lost one of their friends to a whole nother community, we all come from the hood, man. Like, we already seen what motherfuckers do when they lose somebody to another fucking community. We already seen that shit. Motherfucker just lose somebody, like, not even losing them, just, hey, you jumped my brother, man. I'm bringing the whole fucking block out for your ass, man. Like, we all know what the other routes could be, and Dave Chappelle didn't go that route. He went a route of, hey, this is me. This is what happened with my friend. Once my friend decided to try and defend me, y'all dragged them, and this could have been a contributing factor to her committing suicide. This could have been a contributing factor. I could use this as a true reason to hate y'all and truly make jokes towards y'all out of a place of hate versus doing it from a place of comedy, from a place of me looking for knowledge now, looking for me seeking the truth. Instead of doing it from that angle, he could have did it from hate, but he didn't. So that's why I still gotta give it the 9, man. I'm gonna give it the 9.
Okay.
I mean, that's pretty high for me, but I mean, hey.
Even with that, that's still pretty high.
Yeah, that's your rating, so I ain't gonna shit on your rating.
I feel like
let's see. I'm all over your rating, but nah. I mean, my only complaint would have to be I mean, ain't gonna be my only complaint, but the only complaint I think of right now is just the in between each punchline. I would say the build up was a little slow. Had a couple like mini jokes here and there that was like funny, but it was like I said, it was kind of slow. I mean, I wasn't there expecting him to say something like really off the chain, wild. Like I said, I came into this after all the backlash and controversies, and everybody talking about it for the past like what week or two since it's been out.
Yeah, they've been talking about it for 2 weeks, man. It's 2 weeks.
Yeah, it felt about 2 weeks. Yeah, it feels like it. Yeah. So I mean, I went in there like expecting him to say some like really off the wall shit. And to go back to your point, Spider-Man, about his the last bit about Daphne. The interesting thing I noticed about that thing, he did not misgender her once.
Yeah.
Not once. He referred to Daphne as she, her, all that stuff. The only time I would say he kind of like misgendered her was for the punchline of the joke, the part with the daughter and everything. Outside of that, he was actually very respectful. And my God, he even had a couple like sly jokes in there that you wouldn't really understand unless you would like know a little something about that community. So like the whole he said something about they. Okay, yeah, it was one dude was like, oh hey, like he said he saw like a fan out in the open, and they was like, hey Dave Chappelle, they coming for you. And he was like, they? Who's they? Is it one day or many day or multiple days? And I was like, all right, I see what you did there. Because folks in that community like to use the pronouns they and them. So that's why he said like one day or multiple days. So I was like, oh, that's all right. That was a good joke. I ain't gonna lie. But he, like I said, he didn't misgender nobody real as that I can remember of. He didn't really say anything like wow, disrespectful like I thought he would, or that like I thought he could. Like you said, I thought his bit about Daphne was actually from the heart. It felt like he really was hurt about that person passing. So I mean, it's kind of hard for me to sit here and say that he really chose to like, hates the trans community. He was even poking fun at the fact that they were calling him transphobic because he was like I, transphobic comedian Dave Chappelle. So I mean, I feel like he was poking. He poked fun of that here and there throughout the bit. There was the whole thing about the feminists where he looked up the the definition of it, and then he said that he ended up being a feminist himself. This and the third, and then there was I forgot the bit was before that. What was the one before?
What about the black dude getting shot?
Joke.
Like the bullets were hurting him. It was hurting his heart.
Oh yeah.
Don't be upset that she got shot. It didn't hurt. It was hurting his heart.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't his greatest stand up. I forgot which one it was. The one I seen years ago. The one I seen years ago from Skinny Dave. It's still the one from San Francisco. I forgot which one it was. I have to look it up. But that's still probably one of my favorites. One of my favorite stand up from him so far. Let's see. This one I'm gonna have to give I would give it maybe a 7. I was gonna give it a 6, but 7. I think a 7 just because of the message. If it didn't have a good message with like each of them, I probably would have gave it a 6 just because the jokes was it was okay, but it wasn't like had me laughing from beginning to end type shit. Like I was still able to go on my phone. So I'll just say 7.
Bro, I stayed up till 1 a.m. to watch this. No phone.
So that's why you're gonna give it such a high score.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna get.
Jokes were funny. I was expecting those type of jokes.
Yeah.
I was expecting the more other day jokes, man. Like baby, what you doing out here at 3 a.m. selling crack? That's what I was expecting, man.
There's a message in that too. All the niggas out there selling crack are all these damn kids, man. Why the kids in the streets? But
honestly, I'm gonna have to go back and watch those now that I'm an adult. Like I said, I watched them joints when I was like a teen, like late teen, early 20s. That was like the last time I really watched those stand-ups. But I want to watch it now as a grown man with a different viewpoint. I want to actually watch it.
Yeah, like, how the hell is this nigga come up with this shit? I'm gonna make this quick. Pretty much my overall review of it or my overall feelings about it is kind of close to Spider-Man's. I went into it more so to be bold and laughing. I don't really like too much preachy stuff unless the message is like a legitimate something I haven't heard or perspective that I haven't seen or considered. If you bring something new to the preaching game where you preaching some shit that I don't know or I just didn't understand or didn't think that way, I'm all about it. So I did. The message was a strong one. It was a good one. I think he's a unique comedian even in the world of comedy because I haven't heard too many comedians tackle LGBTQ stuff and in particular trans shit so well, so funny. and even respectfully at the same time too. Because again, we were talking about earlier with these people with like cheap ass shocking joke. Any comedian that's cheap and just goes for shocking things, I don't like that shit. I felt like he made a lot of good jokes, but I felt it was more message heavy. You know what I'm saying? And I like the bangers coming out, I like the jokes hitting. You know, I like the cleverness and stuff like that. Which he had. Dave Chappelle is always clever. He's number one when it comes to being clever. The jokes. My favorite joke was the fucking Beyond Pussy, like Beyond Meat.
Oh,
Yeah, that shit is fucking hilarious. He's like, you know that shit ain't pussy. But anyways,
again, shouldn't have laughed, but I definitely did laugh.
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious.
So,
but that ain't blood, that's beet juice.
I'll give it a. You guys all use numbers. I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. 3.5 stars. It's worth watching. 3.5 stars.
Out of 10?
Out of 5.
No, out of 5.
Oh, okay.
I'm not watching shit. Out of 10 stars, 3.5 stars. I might as well just said 1 out of 10 or 3 out of 10. Well, I'll give it, 3.5 stars out of 5. Watch it. It's good. Yeah, that's all I got. So now everybody got it out there. This was the Billy Broke podcast. Well, it was Inside the Pocket. Where it's running is kind of unusually long for Inside the Pocket. But like, share, subscribe, comment. Podbean, right? Podbean. We're on Podbean. We we look forward to your support. We're gonna keep making videos. We're gonna try and get videos out to you. Interact with us. Let us know how to do this.
Yeah, I do got one thing to add.
What's up?
We did joke and laugh about a lot of shit on here, but one thing, suicide. If you need help, if you're going through it, make sure y'all seek the help that's in your area. Just Google it. It's very simple to find something. I could Google the shit right now, put it in the suicide prevention line. It'll come up. Call, talk to somebody. Get the help that you need. All right.
Do it.
That's not a laughing matter. There's a lot of other shit that people blow out of proportion. Suicide itself. Make sure y'all get the help that y'all need.
Don't go through it alone. There's always somebody that can talk to you. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody I want to talk to. You can find somebody.
Be a Liverpool fan. Never walk alone.
Yeah.
And if you're considering suicide, try and be a rock star first. Or try and be like a fucking MMA champion or something. Before you kill yourself, try and do something. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you're always gonna kill yourself, you might as well go balls to the wall and try and do some shit. Like be a NASCAR driver, try and do something. If you can't do it, then all right, go back to plan A. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, nigga, don't go back. What the fuck you talking about?
No, all right, we got to that. But
don't go to plan A.
Yo, plan A is not what you wanted to do.
My bad. Do not go. Just try something out with your life. You know what I'm saying? Try something.
I see what you're trying to say overall, though, man. But
yeah.
Don't go back to plan A, but hey, man, if you're that down, if you're that, I see what you're saying. If you're that down to end your life, be that down to go all in into a venture. Then try something else out because you might actually succeed fully and try fulfillment and find some kind of fulfillment in that to make you go on.
So, you got the greatest gift ever, life. Life is the greatest gift.
All jokes aside, though, DIV does make a point. Like, if you do feel like you hitting a wall or you feel like you hitting a point where you just don't want to keep going, try something. The world is huge. The world is very, very big. Like it may seem small.
You don't have to stay in your state. You don't have to stay in your fucking house. Bro, there's a whole world out there. I promise you there's an earth out there. And if the world still is too small for you, motherfucker, become a rocket engineer, build a motherfucking ship, and be that first motherfucker to explore the goddamn stars, man. Be that first. Get you a pine tree so you can recycle your oxygen and take off.
I'm going on a trip in my favorite rocket ship.
Alright, is that copyrighted?
Yeah, play with it. You gotta sing more than 15 seconds.
Okay,
yeah,
exactly. That's the rule, so I can sing any song. Hell yeah, man.
As long as less than 15 seconds. As long as less than 15 seconds before you get a demonetized.
No, we went through all that just to get demonetized. All right, yo, that's it. We out of here, man. Billy Broke.